Steve Stone down on beautiful Wrigley Field. Okay, so you slap a little color in your face, and the Cubs got in very late last night. Obviously, they feel like it was a tough trip in Arizona. But now they look ahead, and they've got Colorado and Arizona coming to town. They didn't lose any ground yesterday. That's the good news. And let's take a look at the Elmhurst Dodge highlights. And we'll pick it up on a night when it was all Arizona and all Omar Dahl. A called third to Mark Grace. And Kevin Tapani on the mound. Dan Klassen hits one over the head of Glen Allen Hill. And at the time, the Diamondbacks didn't know it, but that was all they'd need. But they added on. And it's the one man that's really hurt Kevin Tapani. And he's hurt a lot of people. Devon White hitting his 15th home run of the year, sending the people in the pool to a frenzy. Then it's Devon White once again. He drives in two. And a rundown ensues. The Cubs get out of the inning. But 4 runs more than enough for Omar Dahl, who threw the first complete game shutout in Diamondbacks history. This is a big play. Glen Allen Hill going down with the bases loaded on strikeouts. And more Omar Dahl. The last out of the ball game. A 4-hit shutout and a masterpiece. And the Cubs leave Arizona 2-2. And coming up after these messages, a talk with the skipper of the Cubs, Jim Riggleman.
Within these walls lies a mystery.
Did you see that? I swear it moved.
A legacy.
One of our ancestors was a witch. I do not have special powers.
And a destiny they cannot escape.
You've turned me into a witch. You were born one.
Shannon Doherty returns in a new drama from Aaron Spelling.
Get out of here now!
Charmed.
Coming this fall on WGN.
A good sweat isn't so good once the game is over. That's why there's Irish Spring Sport. It has an extra antibacterial ingredient that kills odor-causing germs better than regular soap. It's Irish Spring Sport. Play as hard as you like.
Rust-Oleum, the ultimate defense against weather.
Major hazard. You left the base without authorization. Proceeded to Burger King and ordered a rodeo burger.
I've served this command for over
Answer the question. Did you order the rodeo burger?
You're darn right I did. It was flame broiled and delicious.
Burger King salutes small soldiers with a tasty new rodeo burger. Cheese, onion rings, bullseye barbecue sauce. Right now, part of the 99-cent Great Taste menu.
That rodeo burger, it was pretty tasty, huh? You can't handle the rodeo burger.
If you ask us, it just tastes better.
From battling robots.
Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha.
To destroying giant scorpions.
Toast, toast, toast.
For DeVry graduate Michael Watson, it's another tough day at the office. He's a senior software engineer designing interactive computer games.
My job's not all fun and games. I'd be the one getting zapped if it weren't for the things that I learned at DeVry.
For a higher degree of success, call DeVry, 1-800-423-7000.
We're at the point now where the trade deadline is just a few short hours away, and the Cubs did make a move. They acquired Matt Karshner from the Chicago White Sox and Riggs, with Terry Adams getting a lot of work. What role is Matt Karshner going to fill in your bullpen?
I think he'll work with Terry Adams in that same role. You know, Terry has been a workhorse for us, been very effective as of late, throws a lot of pitches. And I think that over the course of the next couple months, we're going to need another guy there to help him in that 8th inning, 7th inning sometimes, and I think Karshner can do that job for us.
You're sending Kerry Wood to the mound today. The wind is blowing in. I have to think it's advantage Cubs in this matchup with Jamey Wright.
Well, I hope so, but, you know, they got a very potent lineup. It'll be a real test for Kerry. They lead the league in hitting, as they generally do. They've got a couple good power hitters. They can run the bases with Walker and a couple other guys, Neffy Perez. But, you know, I think that our lineup is a potent lineup as well. It should be a good matchup. If the wind were blowing out today, with our left-handed hitters in the lineup and with their power, it could be a big offensive day. But we'll take the conditions just as they are.
I think everybody's very concerned about a man that some people view as valuable as anyone to the Cubs. That's Jose Hernandez. He missed the ball game last night. Your plans for today and tomorrow?
Well, I think we can get him back in there tomorrow. Today, he was a little bit questionable. I'm a little concerned that if he pounds the ball down off that foot again, we might lose him for a week or 10 days. And as you say, he's so valuable to us that we're going to sacrifice a few innings here today. If I need to get him in the ball game, I feel like I can.
Everybody's talking about what you are going to do with an abundance of outfield, specifically in center field, and Brant Brown and Lance Johnson. How does that shape up? It can't be a straight platoon. They both hit left-handed.
Right. Well, you know, we're going to put Brown out there today, and really yesterday was a little bit of a coin flip. Lance had some success against Omar Dahl. We had the big outfield in Arizona, so I felt like it was a good day for Lance to be out there today. You know, after a long night of travel, I thought today is a better day for Brown. It's not really cast in stone in any particular way. I'll be looking at some matchups and hopefully try to keep both of them sharp, utilize the skills of both of them.
Let's assume that the Cubs don't make a deal, because you can never assume a trade at this point. Obviously, if you're going to get a starting pitcher, you would have to give up a whole lot to get him. So let's say the Cubs play the rest of the way with what they have. What do you look for from the starting rotation you currently employ?
Well, I hope they go out there the way they have as of late. You know, starting pitchers in the National League average less than 6 innings or right at 6 innings. Our guys are getting real close to averaging 7 and going deep in the ball game, getting good matchups for the bullpen. So, you know, if we can get that's going to be outstanding, because I think in the long haul, this ball club's going to score runs. You know, yesterday notwithstanding, you know, the job that the guy did on us, but you know, I think that overall we're going to score runs. If our starters go deep in the ball game, we can win some 5-3 and 6-4 ball games that has got a good chance of the way our games are going to roll out.
Well, Jimmy, keep it going and good luck to you, and stay with us, because we'll have a look at the scores from yesterday. Then we'll be back with the starting pitchers after these messages.
Can't possibly catch all the hits, jams, shots, and slams, but we catch it all. Instant replay, Sunday at 9:40 on WGN.
Presenting the vacuum cleaner you won't believe.
I couldn't believe how much hair was picked up.
It picks up everything. It's amazing. And you don't have to have bags.
The incredible Phantom Fury vacuum. You won't believe the power. It devours dirt.
I was absolutely amazed at the power that it had.
The secret is patented dual cyclonic action driven by a 12-amp motor and no bags. Instead, an easy-to-empty bin. You won't believe the versatility. And watch this. In a snap, the handle converts to a cleaning wand.
You see a cobweb? Zap, right now.
3 onboard attachments reach everywhere dirt is lurking. And for cleaner air, a certified HEPA filter.
I have a new toy. I love it.
The Phantom Fury.
It's incredible. That's all I can tell you. It's really incredible.
Call for a free video of the Phantom Fury in action. You have to see it to believe it. There's no obligation. Call now.
Good sweat isn't so good once the game is over. That's why there's Irish Spring Sport. It has an extra antibacterial ingredient that kills odor-causing germs better than regular soap. It's Irish Spring Sport. Play as hard as you like.
WGN, 50 years as Chicago's very own.
There's not only pennant races and wild card chases at stake. There's the home run race, and last night, Ken Griffey Jr. hit number 41. Not much doubt about this one as Griffey goes into his familiar pose. And there's where it stands. 41 for Roger Maris, Griffey, and Sosa. 45 for Big Mac. And the chase continues, and so does the homestand, with Jamey Wright going to the mound for Colorado. He's struggled this year. He's got a good change, and he's got a sinker. He's going to benefit from the wind blowing in. And Kerry Wood going to the mound for the Cubs. He's been absolutely perfect at home. He's been pretty good everywhere as he looks for his 11th win of the year. So I know it's going to be exciting, and stay tuned for baseball.
Guests on the leadoff man receive this handsome 13-inch color television with remote control from Zenith Electronics. Zenith, entertainment just the way you like it. And a handsome piece of jewelry from Henry K. Jewelers, 3rd level Water Tower Place, Chicago.
The leadoff
Leadoff Man has been brought to you by Elmhurst Dodge, Illinois' largest Dodge dealer because of the people.
Sunday, TJ befriends a stranger on the internet.
Turns out that the man has served time for this before.
A special smart guy, Sunday. I got some bad news.
Hollywood needs to find a new Hercules.
What?
On the next Hercules.
Saturday at 3 on WGN.
Just begun.
The Carpenters' Love Songs, an exquisite collection of 20 unforgettable hits.
$98 for cassette or $17.98 for CD to the address above. Rush delivery available.
Hey, Cub fans, keep your eye on the ball. Every time a Cub player hits a homer at Wrigley, you could be a winner. It's the Southwest Airlines How Far Did It Fly home run contest. After every Cub homer, write down the distance along with your name and address and send it to WGN TV. We'll choose 10 winners to fly to any Southwest Airlines destination. For every Cub homer, ask yourself, how far did it fly? From Southwest Airlines, official airline of the Chicago Cubs.
A good sweat isn't so good once the game is over. That's why there's Irish Spring Sport. It has an extra antibacterial ingredient that kills odor-causing germs better than regular soap. It's Irish Spring Sport. Play as hard as you like.
WGN, 50 years as Chicago's very own.
The following is a presentation of WGN Sports.
There were some special moments in the four-game series with the Diamondbacks in the desert. Sammy delighted the Arizona fans and himself by finally hitting his first career grand slam on Monday, and then added another salami the next night. While Mark Grace, who christened the pool at the Bob back in May, sent another big fly deep into the water, becoming the first visitor to have a two-time swimming party at the Bob. But the outcome of the series is one the Cubs would like to forget, as the Diamondbacks' Omar Dahl sent the Cubs back to Chicago with a disappointing split. Today, though, Kerry Wood gets the ball with the task of putting the Northsiders back in the win column as he tries to remain perfect at Wrigley and turn some Ks into his 11th W. The Cubs and Rockies, game one next. It's time for Cubs baseball. It's a gorgeous day for a ball game here at Wrigley Field. The Colorado Rockies and Cubs open up a three-game weekend series this afternoon here on WGN. Hello again, everybody. I'm Chip Caray along with Steve Stone. Welcome to Cubs baseball. If we appear a little bleary-eyed, it's not by accident. We got home about 3 o'clock this morning and today take on a Colorado team that's been very disappointing in the standings, Steve, but boy, can these guys hit.
The Rockies are 22 back, and with the trading deadline looming, you wonder if the Rockies are going to unload anybody. If they don't, this is still a formidable offense. And today, we've got two guys vying for Rookie of the Year. Todd Helton, who's doing a great job, and Kerry Wood, who everybody feels might have the inside track on that award.
And three big hitters for this Colorado team. You've got Walker, you've got Bichette, you've got Vinny Castilla. Kerry Wood's going to have his work cut out for him today.
It sure is a formidable task, but it's a little easier because the wind is blowing in. Larry Walker vying for the league lead in hitting at .340. Vinny Castilla always awfully tough and a home run threat. And Dante Bichette having another very solid season and a big RBI performer. So the heart of that order, very tough. But this team, 22 back of San Diego, that seems somewhat unbelievable.
And the Cubs coming off a disappointing trip to Arizona. 2-2, need to pick up some more ground as we battle this Colorado team today. Before we get to the ball game, let's enjoy our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare so say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN. Brought to you by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. The Discover Card, the card that pays you back with a cashback bonus award. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. Pepsi, Generation Next. ComEd, the official electric company of the Chicago Cubs. ComEd, what do you do with your power? And by Southwest Airlines, offering low fares and frequent flights. Southwest Airlines, the official airline of the Chicago Cubs.
From the moment their lives touched, she knew she must follow her heart.
If you want to make this decision, I will not in any way financially support it.
To wherever it leads.
Hey, I know this girl from high school. This is Susan. This is,
Felicity.
This is a life struggle. This is fate. This is a challenge. Stay in New York or perish.
Coming this fall to the WB, Felicity.
Coming this fall on WGN.
I'm so happy, I'm floating on cloud nine. I'm so happy, I'm feeling swell, life is so sublime.
Imagine feeling this good about your car insurance bill.
So gosh darn incredibly happy.
That's happy, baby. Geico Direct. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
What do you get when you add up all Dodge Neon's horsepower, plus all of its interior room, both of which are greater than you'll find here, then subtract a hefty $1,500 cash back, hit total, and Neon is yours for under $10,500. Or instead of cash back, choose low 1.9 financing. Another way to save. And as they say, the numbers speak for themselves. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Hey Cubs fans, with summer road construction, public transportation is a quick, convenient way to get you to the game. Take the train or the bus, and the CTA takes you right to the gates of Wrigley Field. And remember, if you do drive, come early. Enjoy batting practice and take advantage of the early bird discount. Some fans think they know all there is to know about the Cubs. Then they read Vine Line. Vine Line, the Cubs monthly newspaper, makes a great gift for any occasion. Subscription rates start at just $19.95, and all new subscribers receive a free gift. To order, call 773-404-CUBS.
It's a beautiful day at the ballpark here at the friendly confines of Wrigley Field. Another extra large crowd gathering for game one of the three-game weekend series between the Cubs and the Colorado Rockies. The Rockies, one of the big disappointments this season in the National League, Steve. They signed Darryl Kyle in the offseason. A lot of folks thought they were going to be very good out west, but the defections of Andres Galarraga and Walt Weiss really have hurt this team, especially on the road. They have not been a good team at all away from Coors Field.
They never really have been a good road team. The surprising thing is they got off to such a terrible start at home, and now they find themselves an even 500. However, as you can see, the usual disparity of batting average at home and away. The Rockies have had a tough year, and you wonder, with the trading deadline just a few scant hours away, if the Rockies will indeed try to unload Ellis Burks. Now, a lot of rumblings about Don Baylor, about Bob Gebhardt, and here's a guy just removed from getting the team in the playoffs, and I'm talking about both Baylor and Gebhardt in the third year of their existence, and this truly is a what have you done for me lately type of game.
And lately, the Rockies, at least this season, haven't done a whole lot. They're the best hitting team in the National League, but continue to have all kinds of terrible pitching problems. In fact, only the White Sox have a higher earned run average in Major League Baseball than the Colorado Rockies, and that includes two expansion teams. So Sammy Sosa, coming off a rockin' road trip in Arizona, races out to right field, and here is that Colorado lineup. Jamey Perez, who hit for the cycle last Saturday, leads it off. Then Ellis Burks, who's rumored to be on the block in center field. Larry Walker in right. 4 home runs in his last 7 games. Dante Bichette on the trade block. Vinny Castilla can turn around a fastball with the best of them. Todd Helton, a Rookie of the Year candidate at first. Mike Lansing, a disappointment at second. Reed, the catcher, and Jamey Wright, the pitcher, hits ninth.
And the Pepsi defense for Jim Riggleman and the Cubs. Rodriguez, Brown, and Sosa left to right. Alexander, Blauser, Morandini, and Grace in the infield. A battery of Tyler Houston and Kerry Wood, who's been absolutely dominant here at Wrigley Field, looking for his 11th win in this his 20th start. 173 strikeouts in 121 1/3 innings. He's second to Kurt Schilling in that department.
He's never faced the Rockies before, and he gets his first look at Colorado today at the friendly confines. And this is the place where Kerry's been dominating. He's trying to win his 8th straight game here. The last Cub to win more than 7 in a row was Kevin Foster, who won 9 straight games for the Cubs at Wrigley Field in August and September of 1996. Our umpiring crew: Ed Montague behind the plate, Mark Wegner, Paul Schreiber, Dana DeMuth is over at third. Time to play ball now, and here is Jamey Perez.
Perez is one of the reasons they let go of Walt Weiss, because they thought it was time Perez had to play every day at shortstop, and he certainly has come alive. Pretty lofty numbers.
.282 batting average, 8 homers, 38 runs batted in, and the first Wood pitch sails way high for ball 1. 76 degrees. Winds out of the northeast at 12 miles an hour, and something we haven't seen Wood do much of this year. He paws around on that mound, trying to get that planting area to his liking, and back to work he goes, and it's popped up back toward us and well out of play and out of reach. 1-1.
Perez, a switch hitter, has been very consistent. 284 from the right side, 281 from the left side. He is a hard man to strike out, but that will be put to the test today.
He slaps that ball into left field for a base hit. So Perez aboard to lead off the ball game for Colorado.
Perez doesn't run exceptionally well. He's only stolen 4 bases, been caught 6 times. This is a most unusual Rocky team. Don Baylor, in the early stages of his managerial career, ran as much as he could. This year, they've stolen just 39 bases. They've been caught 39 times. That's got to be one of the worst percentages in all of baseball, right at .500.
So Perez is aboard for Ellis Burks, who's in a 1-for-13 slide. And Wood's first pitch to him misses for a ball. Colorado made a trade yesterday. They sent Greg Colburn back to Atlanta for a couple of minor league pitchers. Burks shows bunt, takes a ball. 2-0.
Well, you certainly would love to retire Burks ahead of Walker, Bichette, and Castilla, as well as Helton. The middle of this lineup is awfully dangerous. And there's Larry Walker. The batting average up at .340. A lot of people worried about Walker and that elbow early portions of the year. The elbow seems pretty good right now.
The 2-0 pitch hit sharply to short. A flip to second. Low throw. What a dig out by Morandini.
Looked like Jeff Blauser got his spikes caught. That looked like it was going to be 2. Instead, they get 1 as Burks hits the ball awfully hard. Blauser's there, but as you see, almost trips over his own feet and then makes a bad throw. Mickey able to dick it out, and they get the force out.
So Walker will bat with 1 on and 1 out. Walker, the second highest National League batting average at .340. But his power numbers way down. 14 home runs, and he promptly rips that pitch into right field. This team can hit a fastball.
There's no doubt it can hit a fastball, and the next 2 guys up, especially Castilla, deadly on first ball fastball. So from the high scoreboard camera, we'll take a look at Larry Walker, improving on that .340 batting average. 3 batters, 2 hits. And now you deal with the middle of a very dangerous lineup.
Walker, of course, last year's MVP. He's at first base with 1 out. Dante Bichette, the 4th leading hitter in the league. The Rockies have 3 of the top 9 National League batters in their starting lineup today.
Now Bichette has grounded into 15 double plays. The Rockies as a team have grounded into 95 of them. Vinny Castilla leading the way with 17 and Bichette second with 15.
Well, you remember how big he was in spring training?
I do indeed.
Looks like he's finally slimmed down. That's off the end of his bat foul and out of play. He's listed in the media guide at 6'3", 228 pounds. He was pushing 250, 260, was he not, in spring training?
Supposedly came in around 263, 264, got down pretty well. And right now he looks in pretty good shape. And he is an outstanding hitter. And the leading hitter with runners in scoring position.
Runners lead with 1 out. Fastball blew it right by him. 1-2. That's something the Cubs want to see more of from Kerry Wood. Throw that fastball.
This fastball like a rocket right by Dante Bichette. '94 through '98. Bichette at the top of the leaderboard.
Breaking ball hits softly into left. Henry charges in. Blauser charges out, makes the catch, throws back to second. We'll have an inning-ending double play. Burks went wandering, thought it would drop. Blauser made the grab, and that retires the side. No runs, 2 hits, 1 man left. Scoreless after a half inning.
So I guess I'll be seeing you soon.
Mom, for me?
For you.
There you go. Thanks, boss. Nice boxers.
You're fired.
Well, it isn't Tom, the guy who stole my girlfriend, dressed in women's clothing. Susie's gonna love this.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Susie! You just missed Tom.
While these 2 trucks appear to be exactly the same, there is, however, one measurable difference. The brand of brake pads. Performance friction carbon metallic. The power to stop the best. Ask for them at AutoZone.
The ultimate Derek Jeter dream date. First, you call a girl. Tell her that you're preparing a perfect candlelight dinner for her. I throw in some R&B. I can't cook, so I'll order some food. Tell them to give me the works and put it on my Discover card. Splash on a little cologne. Throw on your apron. The Discover card cashback bonus is the icing on the cake. What else would she want to do but to watch highlights of us winning the World Series in 1996?
It pays to Discover. To apply, call 1-800-IT-PAYS-TO. Accepted where you see the Novus sign.
No score for the Rockies after a half inning. Here's a look at the Cubs Pepsi lineup. The Cubs at 61-48, still 3.5 games behind the Astros in the Central. Brant Brown leads it off. Mickey Morandini is hitting and playing second. Then it's Sosa, Grace, and Rodriguez. Jeff Blauser, Tyler Houston, Manny Alexander in for Jose Hernandez, whose foot still hurts, and Kerry Wood, the pitcher, hits ninth.
And the defense for Don Baylor and the Rockies: Bichette, Burks, and Walker left to right. Castilla, Perez, Lansing, and Helton in the infield. A battery of Joliet, Jeff Reed, and Jamey Wright. 5 and 9 on for his 23rd start. As you can see, he has struggled with 11 hits per 9 innings.
So Brant Brown, the first man to greet Mr. Wright, who fires a quick strike over, and the last play that retired Colorado.
Jeff Blauser makes the play, and then the double play is easy. A bad base running play on the part of Ellis Burks.
Another strike from Wright.
Well, Jamey Wright has a good sinker, and he throws a slider with it and a straight change.
He has, however, lost 5 of his last 6 decisions. But having said that, the team against which he has had the most major league success, against the Cubs. He's 2-1 with a 2.53 earned run average. So the Cubs better not just dial this one in. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Brown strikes out to open up the Cubs first.
Pretty good slider after 3 straight fastballs. And Wright, who has walked 68 while fanning only 53, throws a pretty good pitch there from the Southwest Airlines Plainview camera. We'll take a look at a slider that gets in on the hands of Brant Brown.
And that brings Mickey Morandini to the plate for the first time. Mickey carrying a 7-game hit streak into today's fray. Wind blowing in at 12 miles per hour. And you see the longest hitting streaks. Pat Kelly of the Cardinals. Boy, he's played very well for St. Louis, who continue to be the object of a lot of trade rumors. Those Cardinals may be ready to unload Brian Jordan and or Todd Stottlemyre. Bouncing ball to the shortstop. Mayfield Perez sometimes struggles with the routine play, but not that time. And Morandini's retired.
I would think that they would be trading Stottlemyre for sure. His contractual demands rumored to be around $7 million a year. And odds are 50-50 they'll trade Jordan also.
We talked last night about that rumor that a Cub fan had heard about on the Extra Sports Radio Network about a Pat Henkin deal involving the Cubs. I talked with Andy McPhail about that before the game. He said there's nothing to that. But the Cubs are still trying to get something done before the deadline to try to bolster that bullpen a little bit more for the final stretch drive as Sammy Sosa looks at ball 1 low.
Home runs.
Hit number 41 yesterday to tie Sammy for the big league number 2 spot behind Mark McGwire, who faces off with Greg Maddux tonight.
Good slider by Wright. Fools Sammy for the moment. Wind blowing straight in at 12 miles an hour. It's a delightfully cool day at Wrigley Field. After our 4 days in Arizona, this is summer resort weather. Nary a cloud in the sky.
Yeah, what a difference 35 degrees and 1,700 miles makes. The 1-1. High pop is twisting out of play, foul into the right field seats, and Sammy behind in the count now. 1-2.
Well, quite obviously the Cubs in their bullpen loaded with right-handers. They have the 2 lefties. But you never know what's going to happen in the starting rotation, and so if you add another lefty, that would free up Terry Mulholland if you needed another starter at any given time. If you don't add a lefty to the bullpen, Terry Mulholland almost certainly has to stay down there because one left-hander makes it a precarious position for Jim Riggleman. That is, of course, if you don't add a starter, and it appears they won't.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Some of the left-handed relievers available: a Randy Myers, a Rincon, a Christensen.
Rincon and Christensen probably the 2 guys to fit the bill. Myers is a closer,
Right.
and he'll be coveted by a lot of teams, one of them possibly Atlanta, along with Jeff Montgomery.
3-2 pitch swung on, belted into right center field. Burke's on the run at the track. He looks up. It's in the basket.
Wright had done a terrific job of keeping the ball in the ballpark. That's only the 11th home run given up in 131 innings. And even into the wind, Sammy hits it out.
42 home runs for Sosa and into the wind. That ball was really hit hard. Welcome home, Sammy.
Sammy doesn't mind the long flight, and he doesn't mind whichever way the wind is blowing. Watch it again as Sammy gets one out over the plate. He's gone to right field consistently, and he shows you he's strong enough to take it out in any part of the ballpark.
2 balls and a strike. The chase continues. McGwire in Atlanta tonight. Sosa has upped the stakes. He now has 42. Ken Griffey Jr. 41 for Seattle. They're the top 3. But don't count out Greg Vaughn. Don't count out Vinny Castilla. They're in the hunt as well. 3-1 to Mark Grace, and he takes the 3-2 pitch. In there for a full count. 1-0 in favor of the Cubs here in the first. That's foul down the left side, out of play. Another look at the Sosa blast.
This slider stays about belt high, and Sammy didn't quite know if he got it all, but he got enough of it in the basket. And for Southwest Airlines, how far does it fly? 371 happy feet.
And Grace draws the 2-out walk. Well, how about Sosa? 42 home runs now. He's hit 12 of them to right field.
And a bunch to center field, so not only a pull hitter, and there you see Sammy just 3 in back of McGuire, 1 in front of Griffey.
So 1 in, 1 on, 2 outs, and Henry Rodriguez is the batter. He's hit 25 home runs for the Cubs this year. And he looks at a ball low. Henry fighting it a bit, 3 for his last 25. A close play at first. Grace just did get back. The 1-0. He swung very late, and the count evens at a ball and a strike.
Wright has some problems in the first inning, being a sinker baller. That's usually where you will be vulnerable the early portions of the ball game.
Inside, 2 balls and a strike. Man, Sammy Sosa hit a rocket into the basket into right field. The 2-1. Swung on. That's rifled toward the left center field gap. Back goes Burks. That ball rockets out of here. Now we are cooking. 3-0. And did you see Henry smile at Lansing as he rounded second? Old teammates in Montreal.
Henry 26 and 71. The Cubs have a 3-run lead, and they've staked Kerry Wood to that early lead, and usually that spells trouble for the opposition.
So 3-0 in favor of the Cubs, and Jeff Blauser, the Cub hitter, fouls the first pitch back.
68 home runs combined between Sammy and Henry.
Well, that's what the Cubs front office was hoping they'd see when they signed Sammy to that big contract and made the trade for Henry, and it's worked out very well. Those 2 men have been very, very productive this year offensively.
And they both did it the way you have to do it, with the wind blowing in. He hit line drives right into the gaps. At the 368, they go out.
Blauser hits a blast into left center field, but that one is going to be caught. Burks puts it away, and the Cubs are satisfied with 3 runs on 2 home runs, 1 by Sammy, 1 by Henry. 3-0 Cubs after 1 here at beautiful Wrigley Field.
You can be just like Tiger Woods. He plays Titleist golf balls. And thanks to Wheaties, you can too. Just buy any 2 boxes of Wheaties and receive a free sleeve of Titleist balls. No postage, no handling, no kidding.
Get cash break. 1, 2, 3, 4. Give me a break. Give me a break. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. Give me a break. Give me a break. I want to take a break with that Kit Kat bar.
It's coming. And this time there's something new. Now there's a wind tunnel by Hoover that's self-propelled, so it almost works by itself. Tests show wind tunnel picks up more dirt than any other clean air upright.
Hoover, nobody.
And now you can get one that's self-propelled. Self-propelled wind tunnel.
This is the 98 Dodge Avenger. It offers huge 17-inch tires for stability, a rigid body structure for quiet, and a sophisticated system of valves and bushings for optimum tuning of ride and handling. We thought we'd start there, because if we started with Avenger's looks,
get your attention back to bushings and valves.
See your friendly Dodge dealer today and get $1,000 cash back on Avenger.
It's 3-0 after one. Henry Rodriguez and Sammy Sosa have hit first inning home runs. And the Cubs enjoying a very happy homecoming, leading Colorado by a score of 3-0. Vinny Castilla will lead it off for Colorado. He's hitting .322, 35 home runs. He and Mark McGwire continue their historic season. That pitch swung on, hit a mile high in the air. Henry back to the track, has just enough room. One down.
We'll take a look at the Henry home run. A tailing fastball out over the plate, and Henry just crushes it into the gap and out of the ballpark, giving the Cubs a 3-run lead. And for Southwest Airlines, how far did it fly? An identical 371 happy feet. Vinny Castilla would have hit that ball out of the park, but it was up well too high, and the wind was able to play tricks with it.
Now Todd Helton. Don't hear too much about this guy being in the Kerry Wood Travis Lee class for the Rookie of the Year award. And I don't know if that's fair to this young man. He's having a great year.
Well, for rookies, he's leading the parade in batting average. The RBIs almost exactly even with Travis Lee, and a couple of home runs behind him. And he's got a chance to be a real good one at first base.
And you know, with Colorado, certainly they would have gotten much more production out of Galarraga and Walt Weiss. As Caray just missed with that one, 2-2. But sometimes I guess you do have to take maybe a baby step backwards so you can make great strides forward in getting Perez and Helton acclimated to the big leagues and find out whether or not they can do it on an everyday basis. And so far they have. High pop. Let's see if the Cubs will have a play. Tyler did, and it's just off the end of his glove. No play.
That's a good effort by Tyler Houston, but as he leaned over the dugout, the ball just trickled out of the glove, so Helton will have another life. Now Tyler's got a shot at this as it spins back toward the field of play, but he has to lean over the rail. It's a tough play to keep your concentration, and he just has it drop out of the glove.
So Helton gets a second life here. The count 2-2. And he hits it a mile high in the air right side. The wind, however, won't be quite so gracious. And Grace and the Cubs will return to their positions. 2-2 for Todd Helton. Helton, just 24 years old, out of Knoxville, Tennessee. Full count now, 3-2. Helton, of course, a quarterback for the Volunteer football team back in '94. Hits a line drive into left that Henry's going to catch. 2 down.
I don't think Caray has his good stuff right yet, because these Rockies are getting pretty good swings. He has yet to fan a man, but that shows a guy who's learned a few lessons in his 20 major league starts. So far he's been unscored upon, and yet he doesn't seem to have that dominating stuff we associate with Kerry Wood. But it should come to him as he moves along in this one. He usually gets better and stronger as the game does move along.
Mike Lansing, the Colorado hitter. He hits the first pitch into center field. Brown comes charging. Morandini goes out. Mickey dives. Can't make the grab. It pops out of his glove and falls safely for a base hit. What range by Morandini?
With the wind blowing in, the infielders know that they have to go out as far as they can because the ball's going to fall in front of the outfielders. Morandini, with an excellent attempt, just has it trickle out of the glove. And that's the third single of the afternoon for the Rockies.
So Jeff Reed now bats with a runner at first and 2 men out. 276, 7 homers, 24 runs batted in. Cubs have a 3-0 lead. We're in the second. Bouncing ball right side. Easy play, Morandini. He makes it, And Wood escapes the second without much difficulty. No runs, a hit, one left, 3-0 Cubs after 1.5.
Coming this fall, the men and women of Fort Bendix.
You are dismissed. You're not the boss of me.
They live by a code of honor and chivalry.
My daddy has very strict rules against dating soldiers.
I don't want to date your daddy. They serve for one reason alone.
I don't want to go back to the post office.
It's not just a job.
This is the Army, not some college dormitory.
It's the Army show.
Why was that man yelling at us?
Coming this fall on WGN.
Hi, Tom Bodette. Well, this is what I looked like back when I was new. And this is a new room at Motel 6. When I was new, a new room at Motel 6. Cute, huh? I'm Tom Bodette, and we'll leave the light on for you.
Regular lenses show reflections. Now at Lens Crafters, I have new lenses called Invisibles. They reduce reflections up to 90%. Wow. Only Lens Crafters can make Invisibles in almost any pair in about an hour.
New Invisibles, only at Lens Crafters.
Those are some pretty harmonies you got going there, boy. You sure can hit the high notes.
Careful, Tim. Next thing you know, Road Dogg will want to be singing backup.
Sorry, man. It's still a sore subject with Road Dogg.
Bud Light is proud to sponsor Tim McGraw.
Maybe you can sing on a few sad songs. All right.
WGN TV on the web. The latest in news, weather, sports, and more. Visit Chicago's very own at WGNTV.com.
Beautiful day at the ballpark. Cubs have hit a couple of big blasts in this ball game. A home run by Sosa, one by Henry. It's 3-0 after 1.5 innings of play. Just dancing around the internet today, reading the Seattle newspaper. Mariners don't seem like they're completely and totally committed to trading Randy Johnson. Of course, that's probably the biggest name out there at the moment on the trade front. As Tyler Houston stands in, the Yankees apparently aren't going to give Seattle a huge package of young players, as Houston grounds out on the first pitch of the second inning and is retired by Lansing.
I'm anxiously looking forward to this evening, but I don't know what I'm going to do without you and your computer as you wend your way west on assignment, of course. How am I going to keep up with the rumors like the Toronto rumor?
Well, Pete Tomar, our crack producer, says if you break down and buy him dinner, he'll bring his little clicker and he'll keep you up to date with all the sports
I'll
news.
get him a to-go meal so I don't have to eat with him. Does that count?
I have to ask him. I'm not the intermediary. But the interesting thing in the story in the Seattle Times is that maybe the Atlanta Braves have some interest in Randy Johnson. Manny hits the ball on a line to left, and it's caught by Bichette.
Bichette came in a step, and that line drive was starting to rise. Almost got over his head, but Dante there to make the catch.
Atlanta's interest would be more in Mike Timlin at the moment, apparently. But this reporter says that Atlanta may be tinkering with the idea of getting Randy Johnson to be their closer. Interesting.
How about the Toronto-Cleveland story? That's even more interesting.
Well, apparently Roger Clemens has seen his name sent around as far as trade talks are concerned. If the Indians can't get Randy Johnson, maybe they could focus their attention on Roger Clemens. And a name that may be linked there is David Justice. Toronto needs everyday hitters with some power in that lineup. 0-2 to Wood. It's high, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Of course, it's all speculation. It's just rumor. It's just innuendo. But boy, it sure is fun to talk about, especially the big names that are being talked about at this year's trade deadline.
The thing that makes it a little more interesting this year is there are so many clubs alive in the wild card.
Absolutely. With
legitimate shots to make postseason play, and they might feel that they're 1 or 2 significant deals away from getting right there.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Kerry Wood. Bouncing ball to the right side, took a funny hop, but Lansing handles it, throws to first in time, and the Cubs are retired in order in the second. On we go to the third. Kerry Wood and the Cubs shutting out Colorado 3-0.
So I don't have to be the dumb dinosaur. I get to be the peacock.
Great. Peacock.
Want to get away? Southwest has your ticket to freedom. For only $99 or less, you can fly anywhere Southwest flies when you purchase by August 13th.
You are now free to move about the country. You can be just like Tiger Woods. He plays Titleist golf balls. And thanks to Wheaties, you can too. Just buy any 2 boxes of Wheaties and receive a free sleeve of Titleist balls. No postage, no handling, no kidding.
Look inside a new Dodge Ram conversion van, and you'll find a virtual home on wheels. But take away features like the video system, captain's chairs, and plush interior, and you'll find the remarkable new Dodge Ram van with a more powerful Magnum V8 and strong unibody construction. After all, even a home on wheels should be built on a solid foundation. And with $1,500 cash back, you can start construction right away. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Here we are in this simple, majestic setting. None of the usual interruptions, nobody around to distract us from introducing AT&T One Rate Plus. Now, the key point, the thing to remember, is that every call you make from home with One Rate Plus, every call, day and night, 10 cents a minute.
Did you say 10 cents a minute, dude?
How do they find me?
AT&T One Rate Plus, 10 cents a minute, anytime. Call 1-800-41-RATE to enroll.
Our Discover Card Payback Playback today takes us back to the middle of May in Coors Field when Mark Grace flexed some mile-high muscle with 2 home runs and a 4-for-5 day. Gracie victimized the Rockies' Jerry DiPoto twice for his 3rd career 2-homer game and his 4th 4-hit affair in the big leagues. 2 of Gracie's 7 homers in May, a career high in 1 month. Our Discover Card Payback Playback. Mark Grace hasn't hit a big fly in this ball game, but plenty of chances for him, Steve, to go yard in this one, as Jamey Wright has surrendered 2 of them already in the ball game, and he leads things off here in the 3rd.
I think Mark would be content to go to his base hit stroke today with the wind blowing in. They better suited for the big guys to hit the home runs.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Wright. Why can't Colorado develop pitching?
Very tough place to pitch.
Strike 3 call. There's the first Wood punch out in the game.
That's a called 3rd, and that's number 1. And as we know, if you look at Caray, as the game moves along and he gets a lot looser and that slider and curveball start to come to him with a little better feeling, that's when the strikeout numbers start to pile up for him.
So Neifi Perez stands in. He slapped a single into left his first time. Now pops the ball back over the roof. That's headed for your car, partner, and out of play. 0-1.
Now my car's on the other side and in very good shape.
This one started today?
At least for the moment. Yes, one of my batteries is working. It's the one in Chicago where the temperatures are a little bit down further.
The 0-1 misses inside. A ball and a strike to young Neifi Perez. Again, he takes a shot at left. He's just trying to put the bat on the ball and put it in play somewhere and hope it finds a hole. That's what happened in the first inning.
Jeff Blauser playing him pretty well right now. He's playing him almost in the hole at shortstop, thinking that if Perez hits a ball on the ground, he's going to slap it that way. Henry in close and left.
That ball pulled foul on the right side now. Hard to believe it, partner. It's already the final day of July.
And that after today, game 110, there's 52 left. Cubs have a 3-game lead in the wild card race, but just 1 in the loss column over the Mets.
Hit high in the air into center. Blauser goes out. Brown comes in, calls everybody off, and makes the catch. And a snow cone grab it was.
That one hit the heel of the glove and rolled all the way to the web, but Brant Brown kept it under control. Watch it again as he comes in, and you almost see it slip out, but he's able to control it.
So 2 up, 2 down here in the Colorado 3rd. And Ellis Burks looks at strike one. Where's this guy going to end up?
Good question. That's a very tough center field to play for him in Colorado. And he's had some problems. A couple of balls fell in front of him the other day. When he moved in a step, a ball went over his head. So it's very difficult to find a spot in center field where you can go get him. The one thing you do know in Colorado, your center fielder has to be a speed burner, and he has to be able to get them alley to alley there.
Two balls and a strike. A roller towards short. Blauser handles, flips to first in time. Wood very easy. Top half of the third. 3 up, 3 down. 3-0 Cubs.
Select road. Validating tires.
What kind of road can you drive on with BF Goodrich tires?
Approved. Enjoy.
Any road you choose. BF Goodrich tires. Take control.
It's amazing what some people will do to save a little money.
What a piece of work.
Yet with one call to Geico, you could save 15% or more on car insurance. And considering the alternatives, making a phone call is pretty simple.
Amateur.
Geico Direct. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to...
I've never seen him so happy.
Marriage.
Harvey and I pitched in, got him a case of Bud Light.
Hey, so did I.
Well, that's all he registered for.
And therefore, Kenny, do you take this woman, this is a woman?
With a great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down.
I do.
Make it a Bud Light.
You think she's got a sister?
A participating advertiser for Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN is the Discover Card. Discover Card, the card that pays you back with a cashback bonus award.
Top of the Cub order due to bat. Here in the bottom half of the third inning, a 3-spot by the Cubbies in the first. The difference in the ball game. Brant Brown, a strikeout victim his first time, goes back to work and hacks away foul. And out of play 0-1.
Every time the Cubs talk about a starting pitcher with anybody, the first name they bring up is the man you're looking at, Brant Brown. And that is a high price to pay. Brant's going to be a real good player. He's shown this year that he's gotten a whole lot stronger. And although he's not your prototypical center fielder, he's done a pretty decent job out there.
Off the end of his bat foul, Brown has made only 4 errors.
Well, don't forget it's a new position for him, and it's his third position in as many years, so it takes a while to get comfortable.
1-2. I'm just trying to think back in the memory banks here. The plays that Brown made mistakes on were plays of aggressiveness, certainly not carelessness. He overran a couple of balls, I think, for 2 of those 4 errors. And that ball is knocked down by Wright. Slides, can't make the play. If he lets it go, they probably get him out. Infield hit.
Brant Brown with surprising speed. Wright got to it, knew he had to hurry, but he couldn't get the handle. This one hit right back to him on a hop. And it bounces far enough away where he's got to make a diving attempt and nothing doing. So now you have a terrific hit and run situation set up with Brown and Morandini.
Mickey grounded to the shortstop his first time. Brown a good lead, not going. The pitch a strike. 0-1. Well, the Mariners and the Indians are probably waking up right about now. They battled in a little bit of an extra inning game last night.
I was able to watch the end of that game, even though we got in phenomenally late.
17 innings in Seattle. And Seattle had a chance to tie it or win it in their last at bat again. They had the bases loaded, 2 outs, and Rico Rossi struck out. Not quite as poetic as the mighty Casey, but just as effective and disappointing for the fans in Mudville and in Seattle last night. The 0-2 to Morandini is outside a ball and 2 strikes.
To send along birthday greetings to Ken Kerr. His son Steven at the ball game today.
The 1-2 is pop foul and out of play. Let's pause quickly now for station identification from beautiful Wrigley Field.
This is America's #1 sports station, WGN, Chicago.
With Steve Stone, Chip Caray from the friendly confines. 3-0 is our score. 1-2 to Morandini. With Brown at first, a rocket off the pitcher's arm into right field. Nobody's covering third. Brown's hustling there. The throw is not in time.
We'll have to see if Wright is okay. Nathy Perez thought he had Brant Brown in what would have been a phenomenal tag. Dana Demuth said, no, you didn't get him. Don Baylor wants to argue the call, and Dave Salati wants to check on Jamey Wright.
The throw was behind Perez, who caught it and tried to apply the tag, and apparently Brown got his foot in before the tag was made. A bang play over at third, and now you have to wonder, how is Wright?
Mickey hits this ball right on the button. It gets the right elbow of Jamey Wright, and then a heads-up play by Vinny Castilla, who's yelling to somebody to cover third. He makes the off-balance throw. Watch the tag. Wow, I think that he got him. I think he was out. And Perez can't believe it. He had put the tag in front of the bag. Watch it again. The throw beats him. Nathy behind him puts the tag in front of the bag. We'll take a better angle at it and see.
Certainly the ball and the glove were there waiting. The question is, did he tag him? Boy, it looks like the ball and the glove were on the infield side of the third base bag, and Brown's foot went to the outfield side.
The only guy who gets the deciding vote is Dana Demuth, and the Cubs wind up with runners at the corners and nobody out. And apparently Jamey Wright is okay, but the Cubs looking to try to perhaps, if not put it away, make things a lot more comfortable here early in this one.
And Ed Montague, the home plate umpire, walking back to the dish, waving his arm to say, hey, that was not a visit. That was an injury checkup. Here in the bottom of the third inning. Well, Sammy's already hit a home run. First and third, nobody out. A 3-0 Cub lead. And Morandini extending his hit streak, by the way, to 8 games, is at first. Brown is at third. And the sailing smooth for Sosa and the Cubs. Thanks for the line, Arnie. I appreciate it. The pitch, here it is. A breaking ball. High, I guess, 1-0.
Wright is not changing speeds at all, and that's why the Cubs are getting such good swings at him. He's going with a hard slider and a fastball, and with both pretty much on the same plane and close enough to the same speed. Doesn't make it that difficult to time him.
1 ball, no strikes. A chopper to the left side. Castillo will flip to second one. They try to turn the double play, and they do. Sosa thought he beat it. A run does score, but Sammy will not get the RBI. That's the penalty for hitting into the double play, and now it's Jim Riggleman's turn to argue. Both Sammy and Dan Radisson reacted with the call at first.
Out at second, no doubt, and Lansing on the relay. And Mark Wegner says, yes, indeed, he was out. It was a very close bang play at first.
So the argument continues down at first. Brown does score to make it a 4-0 game. But you like to see your manager out there trying to help your superstar out, try to pick up another RBI.
Our ComEd Power profile today is Mark Grace against the Rockies this year, and he's been devastating. 6 hits, 9 at bats, a couple of home runs, 4 driven in. And that's a ComEd Power profile.
1 ball, no strikes to Mark Grace, who walked and scored ahead of Henry's home run into the seats in left. He pulls that ball to the right side. Good play by Helton. Flips to the pitcher in time. And the side is retired. 1 run, 2 hits. Nobody left. After 3, it's a 4-0 Cub game.
When you pick out new glasses, that's a big decision. But I can make sure you end up happy. You look great. Customers are very comfortable knowing that they have a guarantee at Lens Crafters. Hi, I wanted to bring these back. If you end up having second thoughts about your new glasses, you can always come back. No problem. I can replace them or I can refund your money. At Lens Crafters, no hassles. We'll do whatever it takes to make you happy. Oh, they look great. It's not just a guarantee, it's a promise.
Lens Crafters, helping people see better, 1 hour at a time.
Both these men have athlete's foot. But only one used Desinex, the soothing cure. Desinex has a dual-action formula that calms the itching and cools the burning. And Desinex is clinically proven to kill the fungus dead, so your feet feel good while they heal. Got athlete's foot? Get dual-action Desinex. Soothes while it cures.
Play Pepsi Pop Culture. Just drink Pepsi or Mountain Dew. Match winning phrases and win tons of cool prizes. From cash to trips, even a new Jeep Wrangler. Pepsi Pop Culture. Drink, match, win.
Win a $1,000 shopping spree at Mall of America. Head for Cub Foods, pick up a Pepsi 12 or 24 pack, and you could win instantly.
If a Cub player hits a homer today, write down the distance and player's name and send it to WGN. You could win tickets to any Southwest Airlines destination.
He intends to kill you.
And the killer may know the companion's secret. Gene Roddenberry's Earth Finer Conflict.
Saturday at 5 on WGN.
It's 4-0 Cubs after 3. Chip Caray, Steve Stone from the friendly confines of Wrigley Field. Larry Walker, Dante Bichette, and Vinny Castilla due up for the Rockies. Walker sends a high drive down the left field line. Long run for Henry, nearing the wall. Can't make the grab. It's a foul ball. Walker, having looked down in the line, he thought Henry may have touched that ball in fair ground. So did Gene Glynn, their third base coach.
We'll watch it again as Henry goes over into the corner. Hits off his glove, and it could very well have been a fair ball. But Dana DeMuth said no. And that means it wasn't, because it's a judgment call.
No balls and a strike. Inside to even the count at 1-1. The Cubs have come out swinging here at home. And Walker hit by that slider. Here's a board here to open up the 4th inning.
And an interesting letter from Edward Sullivan, who lives in Chicago. As we'll take a look at this one first. It's the slider that just keeps on following Larry Walker, and he can't get out of the way of it, so he catches it below the knee. But Edward Sullivan says Arnie Harris just finished singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." He looks a little like Frank Sinatra Jr. How about that? I suggest, Ed, that you get your eyes checked.
Well, I kind of dig the looks like. If it had said sounds like, we would have had a little more problem.
And of course, you, old Chipster, will be taking the mic on Sunday. Now, Granted, you won't exactly be like Frankie Avalon today, but Sunday you should do a pretty good job.
I'm rooting for a big case of laryngitis myself. Swung on, pop foul, out of play. I'm going to have some help, but I'm going to keep it a surprise.
Could it be your lovely daughter Summerlin helping you?
Maybe.
Tomorrow, Rick Sutcliffe, Mike Krzyzewski, Andre Dawson, and Miss America Kate Schindel.
Bumped you from the rotation. Bouncing ball to second. That should be 2. And it is. Taylor made double play ball. Well, what I like so far about this game, besides the obvious fact that the Cubs are leading, Stoney, the efficiency with which Kerry Wood is working this ball game.
I don't mind the fact that he hasn't fanned a whole lot of guys. I like the fact that he's working ahead of the hitters. They're attacking the first pitch, and they're not doing much with it. And for Bichette, the 16th double play he's grounded into.
This pitch number 41 unofficially for Wood. And he'll make it against one of the best fastball hitters in the game, Vinny Castilla. And he starts him off with a nasty breaking ball. 1-0.
Another banner year for Castilla. 35 home runs, 97 driven in.
Ooh. Is this guy the best high fastball hitter in the league or in the game?
If he's not the best, he is in the top 2. He can turn around a high fastball with the best of them.
And Wood fires a breaking ball that missed. 2 balls and a strike. Also, Castilla, one of the real nice guys in the game. The 2-1. A rocket to short. Blauser handles the big hop and throws him out. 43 pitches for Wood unofficially through 4, and he's got a 4-0 lead.
On 7th Heaven, a star is born.
I'm going to be on TV.
Sunday! And he's counting on his supporting cast for moral support.
I know how important this could be for the church.
But sometimes stardom can go to your head.
That's pretty good.
Trying to work through a little writer's block.
But can the family handle the pressure of fame? It's lights, camera,
Smile.
7th Heaven.
Monday night at 7 on WGN.
It's back, and this time there's something new. Now there's a wind tunnel that's self-propelled. New self-propelled wind tunnel.
Got your Bud Light, you can't hit my friend. Let's go. I'm thirsty.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down.
Looks like you're buying.
Make it a Bud Light.
Coach is calling for the heat.
Look inside a new Dodge Ram conversion van, and you'll find a virtual home on wheels. But take away features like the video system, captain's chairs, and plush interior, and you'll find the remarkable new Dodge Ram van with a more powerful Magnum V8 and strong unibody construction. After all, even a home on wheels should be built on a solid foundation. And with $1,500 cash back, you can start construction right away. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Well, the Cubs in search of a postseason flag, leading 4-0 here in the bottom of the 4th inning, and it's been the Sammy Henry show with the long ball in tonight's ball game. Sammy's to right, Henry's to left, 2 opposite field blasts, makes it a 4-0 game. That ball hit very hard into the seats, and the count evens at 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, if this were a network game, that's how you and I would be dressed, partner.
Cub hat and tie to match. Yes, indeed, a good look.
2 balls, 1 strike. Three and 1. Same 2 teams tomorrow in game 2 of the 3-game series. Steve Traxel, John Thompson. And Henry draws the leadoff walk. Steve and I will be back at it Sunday here on WGN with the award-winning leadoff man program starting at 1 o'clock for the series finale. It'll be Harry Caray Day at the ballpark. And that should be an awful lot of fun. A lot of surprises planned for the day. And it's a near sellout, if not a total sellout, for Sunday's game here against the Rockies. And I would venture to say today's game nearly sold out too.
Actually, all 3 games standing room only.
Swing and a miss on the hit and run. The throw by Reed and plenty of time to get Henry. Jeff did everything he could to protect the base runner, including falling back into the catcher. But Rodriguez is retired for out number 1.
Well, if you don't make any contact, Henry's going to have some problems. And Jeff lost his balance, and Henry is cut down for the 3rd time this year. And so now Jeff will hit with nobody out.
Jeff won for his last 22 and is behind 2 strikes, 0-2. Cubs 4, Colorado nothing. We're in the 4th inning. Bouncing ball right side. Lansing gloves, spins 360 and makes a dandy play. 2 down.
That ball flattened out. It hit right where the grass meets the dirt. Looked like it was going to be an easy hopper, but as it flattened out, Lansing had to go to his left, and he turned it into a pretty good play. Blauser bidding for an opposite field hit, and a good effort by Mike Lansing.
Now, we talked to Craig Biggio earlier in the year for Houston. He said this second base, one of the toughest in baseball to play because of that little downslope you have from the dirt cutout to the outfield grass. And Lansing made a fine play on a ball hit right over there for out number 2. And now Tyler Houston, the final hope here in the 4th, perhaps. Hit a mile high in the air. Vinny Castilla at 3rd will battle the winds. He'll put it away, and the side is retired. On to the 5th we go. We're zipping right along. The Cubs enjoy a 4-0 lead.
Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN is brought to you by Hoover. Nobody gets the dirt like Hoover. Nobody.
Flying to the New England area for business? If these 12 reasons don't convince you to fly Southwest Airlines to Providence or Manchester, maybe this will. Call 1-800-I-FLY-SWA.
You are now free to move about the country.
Here we are in this simple, majestic setting. None of the usual interruptions. Nobody around to distract us from introducing AT&T One Rate Plus. Now, the key point, the thing to remember, is that every call you make from home with One Rate Plus, every call, day and night, 10 cents a minute.
Did you say 10 cents a minute, dude?
How do they find me?
AT&T One Rate Plus. 10 cents a minute, anytime. Call 1-800-4-1-RATE to enroll.
A participating advertiser for Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN is the new Dodge. From cars to minivans to trucks, it's about change. The new Dodge.
Whenever car batteries are put to the test, America's most trusted lives up to its name. Die Hard. What's under your hood?
Kerry Wood cruising along here with a 4-0 lead. He's given up just 3 hits to Colorado. 2 of those came in the 1st inning. And now Todd Helton will be the man that greets him, and he rips a shot into right. But Sammy will be aided by Mother Nature, and he'll put it away. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Apparently these Rockies have gone in with the idea that Kerry's going to try to get ahead with the fastball, and so a lot of them trying to pick out the first pitch.
Well, they've picked a bad day to hit the ball in the air. It's really gusting in off the lake.
And you'll trade 1 pitch, 1 out all day long.
No doubt. Wood's gotten 13 outs on 44 pitches in this game. And now Mike Lansing, the hitter. He blooped a single into shallow center field for his first hit of the day. And he lines out to first for out number 2. Beautiful day at the ballpark. And the Cubs playing the Rockies for 3, then the Diamondbacks for 3 more before the schedule takes a very, very difficult turn. Got to really play well this week to set up the month of August for the Cubs.
Well, I think this is a critical homestand, and you figure the Cubs take 4 or 5 out of 6. Hopefully that will happen, because then it's on the road for 3 toughies: St. Louis, San Francisco, and Houston, before coming back and entertaining the same 3 teams.
Reed takes a strike. He grounded to second his first time up. The breaking ball misses. Four to nothing game. We are in inning number 5. It's 2-1. Where did the Rockies miscalculate, Steve? Or did they miscalculate at all?
It's hard to really put your finger exactly on what went wrong, because when you're having the kind of year they're having, obviously a lot of things went wrong. They didn't expect Darryl Kyle to be 7-13 with a 5.62 ERA. It's been a very tough year for him after a great year with Houston last year. And they committed $24 million over 3 years to him, expecting he would be their number 1.
Full count now, 3-2.
And Perez and Helton have done a terrific job, but they're replacing a couple guys that did great jobs for them. Walt Weiss, especially Andres Galarraga.
He chased ball 4 and struck out. Wood has his second strikeout of the ball game. He's faced the minimum through the last 3. He's got a 4-0 lead halfway home here at beautiful Wrigley Field.
WGN, 50 years as Chicago's very own.
How fire-breathing dragon Scorch eats a Reese's.
I like mine cold.
There's no wrong way to eat a Reese's.
Select road. Validating tires.
What kind of road can you drive on with BF Goodrich tires?
Approved. Enjoy.
Any road you choose. BF Goodrich tires. Take control.
So I guess I'll be seeing you soon. Mom, for me or you? There you go. Thanks, boss. Nice boxers. You're fired. Well, it isn't Tom, the guy who stole my girlfriend, dressed in women's clothing. Susie's gonna love this.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Susie, you just missed Tom.
Soccer sure has changed since I played. 30-foot rises. Contracting goals. This game is nothing like we could have ever imagined. And it all started with All Sport.
All Sport, with a third more carbs than Gatorade. The game will never be the same.
It's 4-0 after 4.5 with Sleepy. This is Chippy here at the friendly confines.
I thought it was Dopey.
Well, I
Sleepy,
knew that was
Dopey,
coming.
and Happy.
Awfully easy for you. 2 home runs by the Cubs. Sammy Sosa and Henry Rodriguez, and Kerry Wood's been terrific again.
I think Kerry Wood finding a little something about himself today, and that is you don't have to strike out people to be terribly effective. He's not striking out a whole lot of people, just 2 today, and yet he has these guys eating out of the palm of his hand at this point.
Oh, that's an awfully inviting opening, but I'm not going to take advantage of that. But as you said, this is a very important homestand for the Cubs. Colorado in for 3. Arizona's in for 3. The Cubs have to take advantage of what few remaining home games they do have left.
And the Cubs have been very good in this ballpark with the wind blowing in today. They've got a couple of guys that can consistently go out of the yard, and they did it. It was power once again for the Cubs.
So that's been the story today, as Manny Alexander leads things off and is ahead in the count, 2 balls and a strike. That's downstairs, 3-1. 2 big Cubs fans out in the bleachers today. Jack and Cahill from Naperville enjoying the ball game today. And what a day it is here in the Chicagoland area. Manny bouncing ball up the middle. Good play by Lansing. He's had a disappointing year for Colorado, but he made a terrific play right there for out number 1.
I talked with Todd Helton before the game, and he said that Mike Lansing is starting to get a whole lot better at second base, and his total game has gotten a lot better. He showed it today. He's made a couple of very good plays. This is a tough effort. He makes a good solid throw, and he gets him at first base. So I know Mike has taken a lot of heat in Colorado, but he seems to be coming on as the year has moved along.
So here's Kerry Wood. He's 0 for 1. Swings at the first ball, hits it high in the air into shallow center field. Burks flips the shades down, and Ellis puts it away for out number 2. So Wright has set down 4 straight men. And the top of the order, Brant Brown, will bat against Rockies manager Don Baylor's pitcher Jamey Wright.
And that's Dave Salati, a former Cub assistant trainer, now the head trainer of the Rockies. He's talking with Don Baylor, probably of the condition of Jamey Wright's elbow, which appears to be okay. Rockies don't really need to lose any more starters.
A bouncing ball to Perez. It's short. Brown's going to be retired. Man, the easy and quick innings are piling up here at Wrigley Field. Already through 5 innings. 4-0 in favor of the Cubs.
Here's what the renovated rooms at Motel 6 look like when you're sleeping and when you're awake. Asleep, awake, strobe light. Sorry, I'm Tom Bodette for Motel 6, and we'll leave the light on for you.
You can be just like Tiger Woods. He plays Titleist golf balls. And thanks to Wheaties, you can too. Just buy any 2 boxes of Wheaties and receive a free sleeve of Titleist balls. No postage, no handling, no kidding.
Select road. Validating tires.
What kind of road can you drive on with BF Goodrich tires?
Approved. Enjoy.
Any road you choose. BF Goodrich tires. Take control.
Well, my Discover Card statement reads like a wish list.
What?
Toys. I like toys. I love pinball machines. This will improve my golf game. It is unbelievable to me how fortunate I've been in my life, and I can't ask for anything more. Discover Card cashback bonus, no competition.
It pays to discover. To apply, call 1-800-IT-PAYS-TO. Accepted where you see the Nervous sign.
This copyright telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago National League Ball Club, which has right of approval of the announcers and is intended solely for the private and non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Chicago National League Ball Club is strictly prohibited.
We've got a 4-0 game after 5 here at Wrigley Field. 4-4-0 for the Cubs, 0-3-0 for Colorado. And the pitcher Jamey Wright leads it off against Kerry Wood. First pitch swinging. Boy, that's been the mantra today. Anybody that doesn't swing on the first pitch must be threatened with a fine in the Kangaroo Court today. Wright a strikeout victim his first time up. Wood struck out 2 men today. And a good fastball. An even better swing. He smacked it into right field for a leadoff single. So that's not a good start. But it is a start for Colorado, and Cubs fans. Tomorrow is Ballpark Frank's Keychain Day at Wrigley Field. The first 10,000 fans attending the Cubs-Rockies game Get a Cubs keychain compliments of ballpark franks. For tickets, stop by the Wrigley Field box office or call 312-831-Cubs. Wright is aboard in a 4-0 game. A bunt attempt by Perez is fouled away.
And the key to that bunt, and Brett Butler used to do it as well as anybody, was staying around long enough to make sure that you get it down in fair territory. The big mistake most very fleet left-hand hitters make, they leave too early, leave the bat back, and it usually goes foul. Manny Alexander was right on top of that play. However, it would have been very tough to bunt for a hit.
Swung on, hit high in the air into center. Brown comes a charging, and Brandt's got it. And there's out number 1. It's been a rough year for that man, Don Baylor. His team 12 games under 500 at 48-60. And a lot of folks wonder if this will be his final season with the Colorado team. Their owner, Jerry McMorris, has said he's going to evaluate everybody at the end of the season. A breaking ball in for a strike.
Burks is grounded into 10 double plays. Jamey Wright is getting no lead whatsoever, and because of that, now Mark Grace is able to play in back of him to get a better angle on a ground ball that way. And as you see, Gracie with a 4-run lead, not holding him close.
Another bunt try. This one fouled down past first. And again out of play. No balls, 2 strikes to Burks.
Ellis strikes out quite a bit, and you can get him out now out of the strike zone.
The 0-2. He went around, I think. Yes, sir, he did. 2 down.
At high heat ahead 0-2. You throw it up and out of the zone, and Burks couldn't check his swing. And he goes down for the 80th time, the 3rd strikeout of the day. And from the Southwest Airlines Plainview camera, we'll take a look at an attempted check swing, but nothing doing.
So Kerry 1 out away from escaping the 6th inning. But he faces Larry Walker, who singled his first time up. Should have been credited probably with an extra base hit his last time up, a ball that Henry deflected out of fair play. It was ruled a foul ball, then Walker was hit by a pitch. And those guys are very, very experienced in hanging the K's. And that's like a Picasso out there.
Well, they've got 1 more to put up there. And it won't be the last one they put up there.
The 1-1. Bullet outside, 2 balls and a strike.
When the season started, Larry Walker was having some elbow problems. That was from the surgically repaired elbow in the wintertime. But as this year has gone on, he's just gotten better and better once again.
Ooh, 3-1.
And here's a man that had an all-world year last year. 49 home runs, 130 driven in when he hit a robust 366.
3-1. And there's ball 4. That is Kerry Wood's first walk in the game.
Well, the Rockies have not given him a chance to walk anybody. They've been swinging on the first and second pitch.
So let's take a look at who's cleaning up in baseball, brought to you by Hoover. As we told you, the Rockies a very good offensive ball club.
The Astros second, the Braves, the Phillies, and the Giants round out the top 5, and that's who's cleaning up for Hoover.
So 2 on, 2 outs, and Bichette fouls it back to the screen.
Well, he will not have a chance to do this time what he did the first 2 times, and that's essentially key 4 outs in 2 at-bats. A looping pop into a double play in the first inning and a 4-6-3 double play in the 4th.
Ah, you remember Joe Torre Hit into 4 double plays in one game and had one of the most famous lines in baseball history. He said afterward, "I couldn't have done it without Felix Millan."
That's right.
Here's the man on base in front of him each and every time. So Bichette set up for the strikeout. 0-2 to him. Kerry with 3 strikeouts in the game. Has 176 on the year. The 0-2. He fought it off.
For a free swinger, Bichette does not strike out a lot. 51 strikeouts now and over 450 at bats, so he will make some contact. And his ability to spray the ball all over has always kept that batting average up high.
0-2 now. Again into the seats.
Let's see if Kerry goes to that slider, tries to keep it low and away in the dirt to Bichette.
The runners lead at first and second. Here it is. Missed with it way high. 1-2. Breaking ball hit toward short. Blauser backhand step. Good throw to second. And that retires the side. No runs, 1 hit, 2 more men left. The Cubs have a 4-0 lead.
Am I on? Geico Direct could save you hundreds of dollars on car insurance. Result?
Smaller bill.
Geico, a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more. At Geico, we get the ball rolling on your claim quickly. Even in the middle of the night. Geico, a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Select road. Validating tires.
What kind of road can you drive on with BF Goodrich tires?
Approved. Enjoy.
Any road you choose. BF Goodrich tires. Take control.
Major hazard. You left the base without authorization. Proceeded to Burger King and ordered a rodeo burger?
I've served this command for over
Answer the question! Did you order the rodeo burger?
You're darn right I did. It was flame broiled and delicious.
Burger King salutes small soldiers with a tasty new rodeo burger. Cheese, onion rings, bullseye barbecue sauce. Right now, part of the 99-cent Great Taste menu.
That rodeo burger, it was pretty tasty, huh? You can't handle the rodeo burger.
If you ask us, it just tastes better.
How a secret agent eats a Reese's peanut butter cup. I slip in unnoticed. Penetrate the defenses, secure the discs, then destroy the evidence. There's no wrong way to eat a Reese's.
WGN, 50 years as Chicago's very own.
Well, there's your birthday present. We will indeed oblige you on your 10th birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Please don't sing.
No, you've got to wait till Sunday.
I will wait with bated breath for Sunday.
Indeed you will. Here's Morandini. You're not the only one. He's 1 out of 2 today. And looks at a ball inside. A sad news note to report for you folks. One of our members of our public relations staff, a loss in his family. Benji de la Fuente's mother passed away Thursday morning. And all of us with the Cubs want to send our condolences to Benji and his entire family over the passing of his mom. And Benji, we look forward to seeing you back here in the office, and our thoughts and prayers are with you and your entire family. Don't forget, friends, Sunday, August 2nd is Harry Caray Day here at the ballpark. It's a chance to remember my grandfather and join us as we pay tribute to Harry with ceremonies before they take on the Rockies starting at 12:45. The ceremonies brought to you by LaSalle, the bank that works. For tickets, call the Wrigley Field box office or call 312-831-CUBS. Probably not many left, but
some standing room only. And Chip, of course, is going to be the master of ceremonies, and we'll have all the ceremonies for you on the leadoff man on Sunday. So If you can't make it to the ballpark, tune in at 1 o'clock. The leadoff man will have all the ceremonies for Harry Caray Day, and my partner Chip will be the MC on a day that should be something special at Wrigley Field.
So here's Sammy, a solo home run in the first, his 42nd of the year, and he looks at strike one. After getting knocked on the arm by a Morandini blast, Mr. Wright's been very tough.
Whatever problems he was having, it seemed to have knocked out of him.
That's exactly right. 0-1 to Sosa.
In fact, if this works this well, Frank Funk, the pitching coach, will be whacking each of his pitchers on the elbow as they take their warm-ups. And there is the race up to date. Sammy has passed Roger Maris in his pursuit of McGuire with Griffey one back, and Big Mac leading the way with 45.
Didn't mean to swing, and a roller to first, and Helton will tag out Sosa, and that's a bad break, but it is out number 2 in the 6th. So the base is empty now, 2 down, and Mark Grace. Grace walked in between the Sosa and Rodriguez homers. He's also bounced out to first and looks at strike one call. Cubs trying to get back to 14 over 500. They'd go to 62 and 48 and take their 3rd straight from the Rockies if this score remains the same. We're in the bottom half of the 6th inning. All the other baseball is later on. Houston will be in Pittsburgh tonight. Mike Hampton, Francisco Cordova lock up in game 1 there. The Cardinals will be in Atlanta. The Braves will send Maddox to the mound. Todd Stottlemyre scheduled to go for the Cardinals, but again the trading deadline tonight. San Francisco continues their road trip. They're in Philadelphia, and the Mets will battle the Los Angeles Dodgers at Shea Stadium. The 2-2 pitch. Full count now, 3-2.
I like when the wild card contenders go head to head. Somebody has got to lose some ground, and if you win your game, then you're guaranteed to pick up some ground in the wild card race.
Sounds like a plan. The 3-2 is high, ball 4. Second walk of the day for Grace, and the 3rd given up by the Colorado right-hander.
Don Baylor pacing because he knows with 2 out in a similar situation in the 1st inning, you walk a guy who most likely is not going to give up a home run or not going to hit a home run and face a man who certainly can do just that. That's what happened in the 1st and could very well happen here.
Big Cubs fans, Jimmy and Larry Shepard at the ball game today. Want to send along greetings to Teresa Rowell from Meridian, Mississippi, watching the Cubs here on WGN. Shepard's coming to the ballpark for the first time since 1954. Close play over at first, and Grace again dives back safely. The 1-0. Oh, did he go? He did not. And the count moves to 2 balls, no strikes. The Cubs with a 4-0 lead in the 6th. And that's fouled out of play, 2-1. Much different looking Kerry Wood pitching performance in this game as ones we've seen in the past where he just blew people away. The Rockies are putting the ball into play, and Kerry hasn't had the good breaking ball today. The 2-1 pitch. 2-2. Pretty good spot right there. Tomorrow, Steve Traxel takes the ball for the Cubs against John Thompson. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's high, 3-2. So the flying feet of Mark Grace will get an extra workout here.
Todd Helton will move behind him.
There goes Mark. The payoff pitch is way high, ball 4. First and second, 2 out. And now Blauser a chance to open the game up a bit. He'll face the 23-year-old right-hander Jamey Wright. And a quick summons on the mound here.
Frank Funk out to talk with him. He's walked the 2 left-handers after what appeared to be a very easy inning. And now just a base hit will score Grace. Walker's got a very good arm in right field. And Bichette and Burks are okay in left and center.
Action beginning in the Colorado bullpen. As Blauser digs in. Jeff is fly to center. He is grounded out to second. He tried to protect Henry on a hit and run back in the 4th inning, but couldn't make contact, and Rodriguez was thrown out. And he got hit by a pitch to load the bases for Tyler Houston.
Blauser hit for the 6th time this year. Wright tries to get it inside and gets it way in. Blauser catches it high off the left bicep. And he goes to first. The Southwest Airlines Plainview camera will take a look at the hit. And there is the Southwest Airlines Plainview camera high atop Wrigley Field.
So the base is loaded for the Cubs. It's already 4-0, but a chance to bust this thing wide open. Tyler's 0 for 2. 1 ball, no strikes. Foul back to the screen. He had a very good cut. Strike 2 called.
With bases loaded, Tyler has been pretty good over the course of his career.
The 1-2. Strike 3 called on the inside corner, and that retires the Cubs in the 6th. Cubs load the bases with 2 walks, a hit batsman with 2 outs, but fail to score, but still lead the game 4-0 after 6.
Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN is brought to you by Pepsi. Generation Next.
Guess what? Susie Fetterman got sick, so I don't have to be the dumb dinosaur. I get to be the peacock.
Great. Peacock.
Want to get away? Southwest has your ticket to freedom. For only $99 or less, you can fly anywhere Southwest flies when you purchase by August 13th.
You are now free to move about the country.
Some guys have all the fun. Some guys get all the praise. Some guys.
Play Pepsi Pop Culture. Just drink Pepsi or Mountain Dew. Match winning phrases and win tons of cool prizes. From cash to trips, even a new Jeep Wrangler. Pepsi Pop Culture. Drink, match, win.
Win a $1,000 shopping spree at Mall of America. Head for Cub Foods, pick up a Pepsi 12 or 24 pack, and you can win instantly.
Select road. Validating tires.
What kind of road can you drive on with BF Goodrich tires?
Approved. enjoy.
Any road you choose. BF Goodrich Tires. Take control.
The invasion has begun.
Who are you?
What are you?
Max Blackman.
Sunday night at 10:30 on WGN.
Well, there's future Hall of Famer George Brett at the ball game today, standing out in the bleachers. He'll be working with Josh Lewin for tomorrow's national telecast of the Cubs-Colorado game. And the way pitching is against these Rockies, you can imagine George Brett just dying to get a bat in his hands. Vinny Castilla swinging from his heels. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I got to think that George could probably still hit. I know he's enjoying his television experience, and he certainly is enjoying being out in the bleachers today.
It is a gorgeous day. The wind apparently kicking up even more. It started blowing out of the northeast at 12 miles an hour. It's 76 degrees at game time. The 1-1. Oh, there's a nasty breaking ball. Maybe the best of the day from Caray.
That's the way to work Castilla. Watch it again as it's a little slider, and he throws it in a perfect spot.
The fastball rockets foul over the top of the roof. One and 2 to Castilla. What do you throw here, partner?
We'll take a look in at Tyler Houston, and I would throw a slider. And so would he, and that's it.
4 strikeouts for Wood. And 1 man out here in the 7th.
This is a dandy. See the bottom just fall out of it, and it's in a perfect spot. Las Vegas isn't the only one that loves Caray. Right now, Jim Riggleman feels pretty strongly about him himself. When you can send a young man to the mound you know is going to get you late into the ball game, and you got in late the night before, and know that you're in a stretch of 21 games in 20 days, you got to really enjoy that, and I know Phil Regan does also.
1 ball, 1 strike. Ooh, nasty pitch there. And Hilton took it for another strike from Wood. The count is 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Hilton digs back in. The pitch. Took something off, and Hilton took it for strike 3 call. Two up, 2 down.
As the innings roll along, the strikeouts start to rise. Caray throws a hook. Good spin. And Ed Montague thought it was real good. Hilton didn't think it was quite good enough.
That ball fisted into shallow right, and it'll drop for Mike Lansing. Big turnaround first, but no advance. Lansing has his 2nd hit of the game. And Stoney, the email. Interesting. John out of Evanston, Illinois, commenting on my teal WGN shirt today. Noticed your pink one as well. John says you guys never wear the same shirts twice. How many shirts do we have?
There's really no telling, but I thought that was seafoam green as opposed to teal.
The Rockies have just traded Ellis Burks to San Francisco for Darrell Hamilton, James Stoop.
So Ellis Burks, we asked how long he would be there. The answer was he wouldn't make it through the game. He's going to San Francisco, and that's why we took time away from our shirts to get to that trade.
Which is a little more important than our wardrobe, although it will be a wardrobe question as they will change attire after today's game. So Ellis Burks traded to the Giants. They were looking for outfield help. Joe Carter, they got him from Baltimore. Apparently he wasn't the answer. Started 1 for 15 with the Giants. They get Burks now for Hamilton, Stoop, and a player yet to be named. Deadline approaching.
And things starting to move.
7 hours from now.
So I would think that Ellis would not be taking his last at bat here today.
Chances are probably good he won't be. Lansing tries to take second. The ball popped away. Not far enough. He's retired. So are the Rockies. And let's welcome Frankie Avalon for our 7th inning stretch.
Please join in the singing of Take Me Out to the Ball Game, led by 1950s teen idol, Frankie Avalon.
Thank you very much. I had the pleasure of knowing Harry Caray. Harry, this one is for you. All right, everybody, get ready. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanut. For it's root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
The Twins' aunt is moving in.
Oh, you're so strong.
On Ray. Or is she?
No, no, no!
Sunday night at 7 on WGN.
A typical car insurance agent is on the job during regular business hours. On the other hand, Geico insurance professionals are on the job 24 hours a day. Geico, a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Paying too much for car insurance isn't any smarter. Geico, a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
No multi-million-dollar contracts. No victory laps. Not even a winner's circle. But if you think these weekend warriors who run the Score Desert Championship Series take anything for granted, think again. Which is exactly why they run with the Duralast battery from AutoZone. A battery so tough, so dependable, we back it with a 2-year free replacement guarantee. The next time you hit the road, don't settle for anything less.
Well, Curtis Goodwin now playing center field for the Rockies for the just traded Ellis Burks, who's on his way to the clubhouse, packing his bags to head off to frosty San Francisco for the Giants. Chip Caray, Steve Stone, delighted to be joined by Frankie Avalon up in the booth. Great job with the 7th inning stretch.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I was looking forward to it. You know, as a little boy growing up, you know, I learned the song "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." Of course, I know being here in Chicago, I had to sing "Root, root, root for the Cubbies."
Right.
So I got kind of a little confused there, but it's just great. Thanks for the invitation. Allowing me to sing the song here.
Well, I got to tell you, I get to do it for the first time Sunday. That's an awfully tough act to follow. Why couldn't we have put you before Stone instead of me?
Oh, no. Hey, listen, I've seen some of the guys singing that song. It was some pretty tough competition out there.
How about Vin Scully? How about the job that he did?
How about Ditka?
Well,
yeah.
That was a unique rendition.
Yes, yes. Well, he's a stylist. You know what I mean?
We can't say it was a bad rendition because it come up here and squash us. So
That's right.
It was terrific with the coach. What are you up to nowadays?
Well, I'm in town doing a show that I do once a year. Hold on.
Hopefully, way back to the track. Good call.
We got it.
Manny Alexander has just hit his 5th home run of the year. And the Cubs now have a 5-run lead. Man, you're good luck.
Well, that's right. You know, I told my friend Tom Dreesen, who's a big Cub fan, I said, I'll guarantee you Cubs will take the game.
Hey, and you picked a good day to do it with Kerry Wood on the mound.
Yeah.
He swings the first pitch and grounds out to first for out number 1 here in the Cubs half of the 7th. Cubs with 3 home runs today. And Frankie, what do you think of this swing?
Looks just like mine. I'll tell you, boy.
It's a hanging slider for
only
Southwest
a
Airlines.
little shorter version,
361 feet. Have you ever been to Wrigley Field before?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I had the pleasure of playing a celebrity game on this field. I went 0 for 1.
You didn't hit a home run?
No home run. It's a beautiful park. It's, you know, such tradition here. It's just magnificent.
It is indeed that. And there you see Manny Alexander, the author of the 3rd Cubs home run today.
Brant Brown swings and misses, and the count evens up at a ball and a strike. Jamey Wright's given up 3 home runs on the day today. The Cubs comfortably in front with Wood on the mound. And that's down low, 2 balls and a strike. Let's pause quickly now for station identification from beautiful Wrigley Field.
This is America's #1 sports station, WGN, Chicago.
Brant Brown swings at the 2-1 pitch and pops it foul out of play. And into the seats, another huge crowd on hand. The Cubs continue to draw well, and it's going to be tough to get tickets the rest of this season. The Cubs, playing such terrific baseball, have become a huge draw now. And the count's full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Mickey Morandini waiting on deck. The pitch. Back to the mound. Good stop by the pitcher Wright. He'll throw him out for out number 2. No problem with that play. And Brant is retired. What do you think of this kid, Kerry Wood?
I think he's unbelievable. He's what, 20 years old, 21?
21.
What a future, huh?
He can really throw.
I know. I mean, I was watching him warm up there. First of all, he must have thrown about 1,000 balls warming up. He is a strong kid, isn't he?
Oh, he's a very big, strong kid, and he's going to get a little stronger as the years move on.
I think so.
If he gets much better, it's not going to be fair.
Is he 20 or 21?
21.
He's 21.
Turned 21 during the course of this year.
My goodness.
But in his 5th major league start as a 20-year-old, still he struck out 20 men.
Wow.
That's what the Houston Astros said at the time. Wow.
Right. 1-1 to Mickey. He smacks it into left, and that should be caught, and it will be. Frankie Avalon, thanks so much for the visit. Congratulations on a great rendition. Good luck with the show, and come visit.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the opportunity to do what I did. Thank you.
Major hazard. You left the base without authorization. Proceeded to Burger King and ordered a rodeo burger?
I've served this command for over...
Answer the question! Did you order the rodeo burger?
You're darn right I did. It was flame broiled and delicious.
Burger King salutes small soldiers with a tasty new rodeo burger. Cheese, onion rings, bullseye barbecue sauce. Right now, part of the 99-cent Great Taste menu.
That rodeo burger, it was pretty tasty, huh? You can't handle the rodeo burger.
If you ask us, it just tastes better.
Cookies! Actually, I'm selling power tools. Wrenches, metric, and SAE.
No cookies?
Nope.
But where have all the cookies gone?
Into Hershey's Cookies and Cream. A mouthful of cookies in every bite.
Yves Saint Laurent Eyewear by Luxottica. What do you want people to see?
I want you to see discretion.
Dignity.
I want you to see how the girl next door turned out.
Let them see you in Yves Saint Laurent Eyewear by Luxottica.
Select road. Validating tires.
What kind of road can you drive on with BF Goodrich tires?
Approved. Enjoy.
Any road you choose. BF Goodrich tires. Take control.
Nobody does it like you.
To deep clean your carpet and upholstery, you can get a Hoover Steam Vac Ultra and pay once. Or pay these guys
Nobody
every time.
does it like you.
After 7 complete, 5-0 in favor of the Cubs. And Kerry Wood goes back to work. He'll face Reed, the pitcher's spot, and then Nafi Perez. Already Ellis Burks has been traded by the Rockies. He went to the Giants. For Darryl Hamilton, a youngster named Stoop, and a player to be named later. The Rangers very busy as they try to solidify their position or improve upon it in the AL West. They've hooked up with the Marlins, and we'll give you a moment to try to figure out who they picked up from Florida. Should be no great surprise. 2 balls and a strike to Jeff Reed. And now Wood overthrowing, 3 balls and a strike.
Looks like John Vanderwall in the on deck circle, so that will be it. And Wright will be done for the day.
And there is ball 4, a leadoff walk from Kerry Wood. And now Phil Regan will get the bullpen busy as Vanderwall comes on to pinch hit here in the 8th inning. Only the 2nd walk for Kerry Wood. He has struck out 5 men. He's given up only 5 hits. So Wright goes 7 innings, 5 hits, 5 runs, a hit batsman, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts, and 3 home runs. And they had him for 103 pitches in the ball game.
John Vanderwall 8 for 43 with 3 home runs and 12 driven in as a pinch hitter.
No balls and a strike to Vanderwall. It's out of play. Our senior producer director of Cubs baseball is Arnie Harris. Today's game produced by Pete Toma. Our associate producer Mark Brady. Kim Fields is our coordinating producer, and the executive producer of WGN Sports is Bob Vorwald. Happy as always to see the lovely and talented Kathy Kerr, our AD here at beautiful Wrigley Field. Downstairs to Vanderwall.
Terry Mulholland continues to throw in the bullpen. And the Rocky bullpen also active.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Cubs in front 5-0. The Cubs were shut out 4-0 yesterday by Arizona, trying to return the favor to Colorado today. Strike 3 called. A laser beam on the outside corner, and Vanderwall knew it. 1 away.
Strikeout number 6. Good fastball right there. Perfect pitcher's pitch. And the pinch hitter has a seat. 1 earned run. 1 run in his last 21 2/3 innings.
That's pretty good. He's also struck out 23 men during that span. And now Perez looks high at ball 1. 6 Wood strikeouts. He picked up his first strikeout in the 3rd, his 2nd in the 5th. Number 3 came in the 6th, 2 in the 7th, 1 so far here in the 8th. 2-0 the count. This will be pitch number 91. Unofficially for Wood in the ball game. A bit of a delay. A ball got away from the Rockies bullpen men. And 2 balls, no strikes, and now 3-0. Again, the Marlins and the Rangers have locked up in a trading deadline day deal. Backing away and taking a strike is Perez, 3-1. You think we've given him enough time to try to figure out who the deal is, Stoney? Fouled off his foot, and he sat down to think about it. 3-2. There's ball 4 outside. So Perez is aboard. 2nd walk of the inning. 1st and 2nd, 1 out.
Well, partner, Baltimore's gotten some help, and they've gotten a Toronto pitcher, and it's not Pat Hankin, and it's not Roger Clemens.
I would guess Randy Myers?
No.
Wait a minute. Juan Guzman.
That is who it is.
Who'd they give up?
Nerio Rodriguez and a young prospect.
So Guzman to Baltimore.
A lot of shifting around, and we haven't seen the last of it.
There's going to be a lot of it. Todd Zeile is the man that went from the Marlins to Texas for a couple of minor leaguers. There's a rumor being reported that the Cardinals are about to ship Royce Clayton and Todd Stottlemyre to Texas for left-handed pitcher Darren Oliver and
Fernando
Tatis, the young third baseman. That one has not been announced as official yet. So Ellis Burks, Todd Zeile, and Juan Guzman all have changed addresses today. The principals and the big moves on the day.
You have to play in close for Goodwin. He's got unbelievable speed. So Grace and Alexander pinching at the corners.
Wood falling behind 2-0.
Looks like Matt Karshner has joined Terry Mulholland in the bullpen.
Right through there. Good fastball. 2-1. Again, the trade deadline 11 o'clock Chicago time tonight. The 2-1 pitch. 3 balls and a strike. He's about to walk himself into a big 8th inning mess with Walker, Bichette, and Castilla due up.
Well, if he doesn't get Goodwin, I think the decision is already made. You've got to bring in Mulholland to face Walker.
3 balls and a strike. 3-2. Blew the fastball by him.
I would think that that was ball 4. It was about letter high, and Goodwin, who's not going to hit a 3-run homer most likely, might have helped himself with another pitch here, but helped Kerry Wood with that swing.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Here it is. Foul back out of play. Tyler Houston out in front of home plate, flashing the defensive signs to the infield. They play Goodwin around toward left in the outfield. Big gap in right center. A strikeout would be nice against the speedy hitter. The pitch. Foul back again. The story today, Sammy Sosa has hit his 42nd home run of the year. Henry Rodriguez hit number 26. The Cubs at the moment have a 5-0 lead. Manny Alexander is also homered. Wood has struck out 6 men, but is in some 8th inning trouble here. The 3-2. The bases are loaded. 3 walks in the inning, and now Walker will be the batter, but he won't be facing Kerry Wood. So Wood runs out of gas here in the 8th. 7 innings and a third. He walked 4, struck out 6, and surrendered just 5 hits. Another big standing ovation for the kid Kerry Wood, who's in line to win his 11th game of the year. On comes the left-hander Terry Mulholland to face Walker with the bases full. We'll see how the matchup fares right after this.
Select road. Validating tires.
What kind of road can you drive on with BF Goodrich tires?
Approved. Enjoy.
Any road you choose. BF Goodrich tires. Take control.
To show off their renovated rooms, Motel 6 is doing its first big special effects commercial ever. Here goes. Cool. I'm Tom Bodette, and we'll leave the light on for you.
I got some bad news.
Hollywood needs to find a new Hercules.
What?
On the next Hercules. Saturday at 3 on WGN.
WGN, 50 years as Chicago's very own.
It's Mulholland versus Walker with the bases loaded for Colorado, and Terry has been tremendous out of the Cub bullpen.
Terry on for the 43rd time, and a fine ERA, and he's always had luck against Larry Walker. Walker hitting just 188 against him, 6 for 32. 1 home run, but 32 at bats.
Second largest home crowd of the year has watched a 5-0 game, and Walker hits it high in the air, deep into center, but playable for Brown. There's the catch. Tagging from third is Reed. He will score without a throw, and the Rockies are on the board with a sacrifice fly from Walker. It's now a 5-1 ball game. Neifi Perez also tagged and went from second to third on the play. So the leadoff walk cost Kerry Wood a run, but the lead's still 4, and now the Rockies have only 1 out left here in the 8th. Dante Bichette has hit into 2 double plays and a force out. He's 0 for 3.
Well, Dante Bichette has fared a whole lot better against Terry Mulholland, hitting .462 with 3 home runs, 12 for 26. And with Karshner loosening up, Mulholland stays in the game to face Bichette.
The 0-1. Swung on, hit high in the air to right, but the wind's going to push it right to Sammy. Inning over. 1 run, no hits, 2 left for Colorado. On to the bottom of the 8th we go. It's 5-1 Cubs.
The invasion has begun.
Who are you?
What are you?
Max Nightman.
Sunday night at 10:30 on WGN.
Baseball players know a lot about home equity loans.
So do football players.
At Superior Bank, we don't play games with your financial future. Instead, Superior has been helping homeowners for over 75 years, helping homeowners reduce their bills to 1 monthly payment and get the cash they need when they need it, even if they've had credit problems in the past. So if you're tired of playing games, call Superior Direct now at 1-888-678-7777.
No multi-million-dollar contracts. No victory laps. Not even a winner's circle. But if you think these weekend warriors who run the Score Desert Championship Series take anything for granted, think again. Which is exactly why they run with the Duralast battery from AutoZone. A battery so tough, so dependable, we back it with a 2-year free replacement guarantee. The next time you hit the road, don't settle for anything less.
Now you can take yourself out to the ball game and catch plenty of Cubs action on your computer. Visit the Chicago Cubs website at www.cubs.com. It's the Cubs at your fingertips. The site features live broadcasts of Cubs baseball, daily statistics and game notes, player information, online access to tickets, and more. www.cubs.com is your link to the Cubs and is accessible 24 hours a day. Visit the Cubs website today at www.cubs.com. It's the place to be if you're not at Wrigley Field.
You can't possibly catch all the hits, jams, shots, and slams, but we catch it all. Instant replay, Sunday at 9:40 on WGN.
We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's a 5-1 ball game. New pitcher for Colorado, right-hander Mike DeGene. But first, let's look at our Ameritech playbook.
Our Ameritech playbook is Henry Rodriguez. After Sammy had homered, Henry comes up, hits a 2-run bomb, putting the Cubs up 3-0 at the time. They haven't been headed, and that is your Ameritech playbook.
Sammy's home run number 42 on the year. He now has a 6-game hitting streak. Sosa pops it foul back our way. With a win today, the Cubs would run their record in the month of July to 19-9. The last time the Cubs had a 19-win month was July of 1979. They went 19-13 in that month and year. So obviously the Cubs having a terrific July here in '98. And it would be certainly fun to see this team do the same thing in the month of August. Sammy hits it up the elevator shaft. And right to the shortstop, Nefi Perez, who gloves it for out number 1. A lot of rumors and stuff along the internet, along the websites, and the radio stations in town, out of town. Fan emails us saying he had heard that the Cubs might be interested in getting John Lieber and Jason Christensen for Brant Brown. I don't think the Cubs want to give Brant Brown away.
I don't believe so either, but I don't think that you could get Lieber and Christensen for Brown.
It would take a lot more than that.
Just, maybe a little more, but I think that they would like to hold on to Brant Brown for a while.
Andy McPhail and Ed Lynch, who's not in your picture, with the trade deadline at 11 o'clock tonight, have a lot of decisions that they hope to make. They obviously would love to get another starting pitcher, but so would everybody in the playoff race this time of year. And it's a question of economics. What do you have to give up to get what you think you need? And if the price is steep to get a player, do you want to rent the guy, or do you want to get a guy that's already under contract for next year, this year obviously, and next year and beyond that perhaps as well? And Grace draws another walk.
Third walk today for Mark Grace. He's trying to be a table setter. And it certainly worked in the first inning when he walked with 2 outs ahead of Henry Rodriguez, and he delivered his 26th home run of the year.
So here's Henry. He's also homered. As Steve mentioned, it was number 26. Back in the first. That's all Kerry Wood has needed today. He's breezed through Colorado with 1 run allowed and only 5 hits. Interesting that Baltimore would pick up Guzman. The Orioles now 2 games above 500. They have been unbelievable since the All-Star break. That ball hit a ton. Deep left center field. At the track and at the wall, Henry's got a 2-home run game.
.27-73 for Henry Rodriguez. 2 today as the Cubs have hit 4. And Don Baylor has seen a whole lot of this year.
It's as if he never left Coors Field.
His pitching staff came in with a team ERA of 5.16, and it's going up from there. And the O. Henry bars cascade in left field.
So a 7-1 game. And Jeff Blauser, the batter. Fifth career 2-homer game for Henry Rodriguez today at Wrigley Field. 2 homers, 4 driven in. And it's good to see somebody other than Sammy Sosa having a big RBI game for the Cubs. Blauser hits a high pop fly down the right field line. Lansing gives chase in foul ground, can't make the play. He just missed it and just missed injuring himself down in that bullpen.
Both of Henry's home runs have come to left center. This fastball up and out over the plate. Mike DeGene is taken out of the ballpark for just the 4th time this year. Curtis Goodwin looks up, and for Southwest Airlines, how far did it fly? 377 happy feet. Jeff Blauser gets another life. This one missed after a long run, and then former Cub Chuck McElroy trying to help out Mike Lansing in the bullpen area.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Blauser. Foul back, but to finish up that point on Baltimore, they're 17-3 since the All-Star break.
That's one of the reasons why they were in the addition mode, trading some youngsters for a guy they think can help them right today. And he makes that pitching staff pretty formidable.
That would be a comeback of epic proportions for Baltimore. They were 38-50 at the All-Star break. 55-53 now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Jeff is aboard. Second walk from DeJean. One on, one out, 2 in for Tyler Houston. His modest 2-game hitting streak is on the line with an 0 for 3 day today. Swing and a foul tip into the catcher's glove. It's 0-1. Seven runs, 6 hits for the Cubs. 1 run, 5 hits for Colorado. The Cubs trying to go 3-0 against the Rockies. We took 2 from them out west. Remember, Henry Rodriguez hit the first grand slam of the year against these guys. He's hit 2 home runs today with 4 RBIs. That ball hit high in the air into right center field, but not deep enough. Curtis Goodwin puts the ball into his glove, and there's 2 down. Here's Manny now. He homered his last time up. Manny snapped an 0 for 7 slump with the home run. And looks high, ball 1. Yankees lead the AL East by 15 games. They're 75-27. Cleveland by 11.5 over Minnesota, 62-45, the Indians' record. The real race in the West in the American League. Anaheim by a game over Texas. Seattle is 10 back and fading fast. They drop 3 to the Indians. Anaheim picked up Charlie O'Brien. Texas has gotten Zeal and might be getting a lot more than that. And Manny almost got hit. 3 balls, no strikes. National League races. Atlanta by 14 over New York. As he just did get out of the way of that ball. Cubs trail Houston by 3.5. San Diego by 13 over San Francisco. And the Padres a game and a half behind Atlanta for the best record in the National League. That's going to be a real interesting race to see how that one winds down the rest of the year.
Big advantage if you have the best record. You play the wild card team with the last game in your ballpark, which is a big advantage, especially in 3 of 5.
3 balls, 2 strikes now to Manny. High pop. And well out of play. Hope you enjoyed the interview last night with Allison Payne and Mark Grace on the award-winning WGN News. Mark said during the interview he wants to be a broadcaster. He said he wanted to be the next Steve Stone. How about that, partner? Leanna Smith watched that interview from Durant, Iowa, and wanted to know, how about that? Maybe we can get 3 in the booth. Have you, me, and Mark Grace.
I think Mark's got a few more years left to play, especially with his hitting stroke. But, you know, you can't just walk into the booth. You have to start at Keokuk, Iowa, go to Des Moines.
Panama City, Florida.
Oh, yeah. A few other places first to hone your skills.
Ball 4 outside. Problem is, if we sent Mark down to Panama City, I don't think we'd ever get him back. That's a beautiful place down there.
Gene having some problems, and Jeff Reed out to talk with him. So Terry Mulholland will get an opportunity for a save, because he came in with the tying run in the on-deck circle, and if he successfully gets through the 9th inning, he would pick up a save.
First and second, 2 outs. 2 runs in the 8th. And Terry fouls it back. It'll be interesting to see what happens to the makeup of this Cub pitching staff if the Cubs are able to swing a draft deadline deal or trade deadline deal today. A strike. 0-2. The Cubs have made no secret they'd like to get another southpaw down there, and the quality of which I think has a lot to do with what's going to happen with Terry Mulholland, if he moves into the rotation or not. As you said, and I couldn't agree more, the way he's pitched out of the pen, you can't risk putting him in a starting role.
Not if you only have the 2 left-handers. If you pick up one, and of course the names of Rincon and Christensen from Pittsburgh seem to be an ideal fit, but we'll have to see what happens there. But if you pick up a left-hander, then you have the flexibility at least of either going with 3 in the pen or moving Terry in, depending on what Don Wengert does. Wengert has thrown the ball very well twice, so he'll probably earn another start.
Terry, line drive left field, base hit. How about that? Blauser around third, he's going to score. You look up the word professional in your dictionary, and that's the face you see. Terry Mulholland with a big base hit. And I think Don Baylor's seen enough of Mr. DeJean.
Terry Mulholland drives this ball into left field. His first run batted in of the year on his 2nd hit.
So DeJean, in a word, was awful. He's given up 3 runs. He's walked 3 men, a home run, 2 hits. The Cubs have scored 3 times, have runners first and second, and still are threatening here in the 8th inning.
Coming this fall, the men and women of Fort Bendix.
You are dismissed. You're not the boss of me.
They live by a code of honor and chivalry.
My daddy has very strict rules against dating soldiers.
I don't want to date your daddy. They serve for one reason alone.
I don't want to go back to the post office.
It's not just a job.
This is the Army, not some college dormitory.
It's the Army show.
Why was that man yelling at us?
Coming this fall on WGN.
Select road. Validating tires.
What kind of road can you drive on with BF Goodrich tires?
Approved. Enjoy.
Any road you choose. BF Goodrich tires. Take control.
8-1 our score in the 8th inning. Mike DeJean gives up 3 runs in 2/3 of an inning. The men aboard belong to him, and now Dave Veers is on for Colorado.
Veers on for the 42nd time, and an 0-1 record, a 3.42 ERA. He inherited Cubs at 1st and 2nd, and with this one well in hand, you'd kind of like to save him for the rest of the series.
Well, checking out the internet again, the Pittsburgh papers tell us that Larry Himes, the Cubs special assignment scout, was in Pittsburgh last night watching Lieber pitch. He got crushed for the Pittsburgh team, but he may have been there looking at someone else too. So maybe the Cubs and Pirates will be able to swing something before the deadline strikes midnight. Outside to Brant Brown. Another trade has been consummated. Two balls, no strikes. No, it's not another trade for catfish. Remember that kid that got traded for 10 pounds of catfish the other day? The Boston Red Sox traded Joe Hudson to Milwaukee for Eddie Diaz, a trade that's of great import for both ball clubs.
I think that's very important to both ball players. I'm not sure if it's going to help the teams.
The 2-1 pitch. Brant Brown with a base hit and a run scored for the Cubs today. Missed inside. Man, these guys can't throw strikes at all, can they? 3-1.
7 walks so far, Ishit, to Cub hitters.
The 3-1. 3-2. So we'll be off and running here with Mulholland and Alexander in an 8-1 Cub game. We're in the 8th. A beautiful day at the ballpark. The Cubs trying to win game number 62. And ball 4, they're loaded. Man, oh man. 4 walks in the inning. Don Baylor saying, oh my goodness, my right arm for somebody who can get somebody out. You know, it's amazing. Managers often and always pay the price when their players don't perform. But he's not the guy throwing ball 4 every time.
And you can only pitch the guys that you have on your team.
And now we understand that Cardinal Texas trade is official. Stottlemyre and shortstop Royce Clayton to Texas for left-hander Darren Oliver and Ramon Tatis. Morandini swings and misses. 0-2. Fernando Tatis, I beg your pardon, for the Texas team. He's so young I forgot his name. Nothing in 2 for Morandini. Bases full of Cubs. The pitch swung on, bouncing ball through the wicket into center field. 1 run scores. Mulholland runs through the red light, and now he's going to head for home. The throw is high. He slides home and is retired. Terry stopped at third. Brant Brown crawled up his back, and then Mulholland had no other choice but to head for home, and he was retired to end the inning. But Morandini does get a hit, does drive home 1 run, and Henry Rodriguez hits his second 2-run homer in today's Cubs 9-1 game.